What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Thirsty Thursdays live stream. I see we got some people in the house already. I see Daniel Atkins is here. I see Michelle is here. Outdoors in the 608 is here, and he says, so Brad will be flying solo, question mark. Yeah, so you just saw my daughter Taylor comment there about she's going to be late. She's coming home from my son's baseball practice. She wanted to go watch him practice tonight, and now that the days are getting longer and they're practicing a little longer, she didn't make it back in time. So she will be joining us. She's just going to be about 15 or 20 minutes late, so I'm going to try to wing this on my own here for a few minutes. So if it seems a little unorganized or not as smooth as it normally does, it's because my right-hand lady's not with me yet. But who I do have with me again tonight, if you missed it all the way back in February, it was 2 live streams ago. The owner of the tree service that I work with, Mr. Chaz Blanford, is here with us again tonight. He wanted to join us last month, but he was a little under the weather, so he made it tonight. Who else we have in here? William Klein's here. Larry Cluck, how are you, sir? Joe Barney's in the house. Joe's Firewood videos. Who else here? Camping Creek is here. And the Firewood Doctor. And so people are starting to join in here a little bit. So what has been going on? Tim Stout says, hello everyone, my firewood sales are through the roof the last 3 weeks. I'm almost out of seasoned wood. Wow, it's early in the season to be running out, but I guess it's a good problem to have when you're selling so much wood this early. So far, in the month of April, I have sold 68 bundles. I just got an order just about 20 minutes before we went live here. A guy ordered 12 bundles for tomorrow. So that'll bring us up to an even 80 bundles for the month of April. So things are starting to pick up. And he told me he's going to be needing many more for his beach house once the weather finally warms up. I tell you, it was beautiful here last weekend. And yesterday and today we had freeze warnings, so it's the weather's still going up and down, and I'm hoping the warm weather gets here and stays here soon. Hey, there's Dick, old guy Firewood. How are you tonight? And Dell's here from In the Backyard with Dell. There is Shifty. Good evening, Woodhounds. He's here for the Four Roses review. I haven't even opened the seal yet, but here it is. If you were on Dan's Friday Night Live last week, he has a bottle of the same exact stuff, and he opened it up, and I think it might have hurt him a little bit because he didn't just sip the last shot at the end of the night. He was sipping on that 2 or 3 times before the end of the night, and I think we started to see it kick in with him a little bit. I don't know. If you were there and you were watching that live stream, write down in the comments what if you think if he was feeling that. The Firewood Doctor, that monster tree service wood that I keep hearing about. That stuff is like 4 feet diameter. He needs stuff that big to keep him out of trouble. He knows I don't want no 4-foot round stuff. All that goes to the mill, right, Chaz? Mm-hmm. Hey, there's Shib. How you doing? I just watched your video today talking about great big wood. Maybe that's what he was talking about, them 4-foot rounds. Because it was like a UFC wrestling match that he was doing with those things today. I think he broke 2 axes. He's got a brand new axe. I don't know if he's tried it yet or not. But he's got a lot of big wood there. Dean's here from outside in Michigan. Good to see you here tonight, Dean. But before we get too deep in here, let's go ahead and crack this open because everybody's waiting for the review. So this is Four Roses Small Batch Select. It's 104 proof. That is our selection of the night. I've been holding on to this one for a couple months, and it just so happened that Dan got his at the same time that I decided I was going to try this. So and I think a couple of you in here tonight have got it too, and you're going to be sipping this with me. So I'll let that sit for just a second and breathe for a minute. and then we'll try it out and see what we can get out of it. Dell said it was 75 and sunny where he is today and 80 tomorrow. Well, that's great weather for you. Camping Creek says, how many orders for bundles do you usually get in the middle of the summer? I tell you, last year I did not really check or keep track of how many bundles I was selling. I kept track of the cordwood and the bulkwood sales that I had, but the bundles I was just making, so I'm changing that this year, and I'm actually keeping track of the amount of bundles that I sold. But it was steady all summer long. I mean, people were buying 10, 20 bundles at a clip. I was selling them for $5 a piece last year, and as you know, this year the price went to $7 each, or 3 for $20. So all my orders that I've been getting have been multiples of 3 so far this year. A guy just called and ordered 12. I've had orders of 30, 9, 6, and I haven't had any complaints about the price change. They're still getting a great value. I mean, the small 3/4 cubic foot bundles that they're selling at the hardware stores and the grocery stores are like $10 now, $11. So they're still getting more wood for a lot less money, and they're
not like this big around either.
Right, and they're good sized pieces of wood. They're not kindling. Oh, I'm getting behind already. Here's a question from the Firewood Doctor. Why do so many tree services seem to chip up the easy-to-process firewood that's under 12 inches? I think we had this question last time, but a lot of people wonder that, and I know the answer to this, but I'm going to let him answer and explain why they do that and why it's more effective for his business.
Quicker to get rid of. Say there's 10 or 15 branches on one piece, on one stick, and it's 12 inches. My chippers, I got a 21-inch chipper, 31-inch opening. It was my big one, and my smaller one's 18-21, so an 18 high, 21 wide. We just grind it. Time's money. Get in, get out, get to the next job. I'm not a firewood processor. It's easier to get rid of when it's chips. So.
Yeah, so the chippers that he has, obviously he's in the business, but the size stuff that he can put through those chippers and grinders that he has is absolutely amazing to me. I mean, it just eats it up too. So like he said, he's not into firewood processing, so it's a lot less for him to move, a lot less for him to haul. It compacts everything down into one chipper truck, and he can get rid of it a lot easier. But when he does have the good sized firewood logs, and he knows it's good firewood, he normally gives me a call, and that's when I head out the door to go retrieve them. I saw another comment here. Matt Weimer, do you sharpen your own saw change? If not, where do you take them? I need one sharpened. Matt, I do. I sharpen my own chains. I've tried everything. I've tried hand filing. I've tried the cheap Harbor Freight bench grinder. I've tried the steel 2-in-1 sharpener, and I've tried the Dremel tool bits. I feel like hand sharpening is by far the best way to sharpen your chain once you get the hang of it. There's a learning curve, and it definitely takes time to figure that out. The steel 2-in-1 sharpener, it does the tooth and the rakers at the same time. I've had really good luck with that. The Dremel tool bits, it's okay. It's good for a touch-up, I think.
It heats the steel up.
It does. If you keep it on there too long or press too hard, it will heat the steel up and you'll lose the temper out of the tooth. So you have to be really careful with that. And the bench grinder, in my opinion, is my least favorite way to sharpen chains. But Matt, you guys know Matt. He's always on here on the live streams, and you can get a hold of me, and I'll get that chain from you and sharpen it for you. Hey, there's a super chat, first one of the night. Outside with Shive, 4 roses, send it. So if you just noticed, I just tried it. And I'll do it again for my man Shive with the super chat, but I'll tell you what I think of it in just a second. So I can definitely tell it's 104 proof. my palate is normally in the range of 90 to 100 is where I like to drink my bourbon. So that's your Eagle Rare, your Buffalo Trace, even the Elijah Craig that we had last month, I think was like 94 proof. So this is 104. It is a little hotter. The finish is a lot longer, and it's non-chill filtered. So what that means is you get a lot more of the barrel, a lot more of the oakiness, and a lot more of the barrel taste, the woody taste. And I do get that, but it's pretty balanced. I think it's different on the front than it is on the back, and the finish takes a little bit longer to go away. So maybe that's why Dan was feeling the heat last week, because it doesn't go away real quick, and I think he even chased it a couple times. All right, I think I just heard the dogs barking in the house there, so hopefully my assistant is coming because I know I'm missing things. Tim Stout is asking Joe, has he had any luck getting customers to season the wood? We are in a need it now society. Ain't that the truth? So if you don't know Joe, he cuts a whole lot of firewood and sells a lot of firewood, and he tries to get his customers to order their wood a year ahead of time so that he doesn't need to stockpile the wood and season the wood. But the problem with that, I think, is that people don't have room to store their wood, or they don't think that far ahead, or they don't want to spend the money until they actually need the product. So I think a lot of times, at least around me, when people order their firewood, they want to burn it now. Oh, goodness. Here we go. Oh, Joe answered. It said, Tim Stout, less than 2% of my customers do their job, and their job is seasoning the wood, according to Joe. So yeah, that's pretty high proof there, Firewood Doctor. There's Woodruff Woods with a super chat. Have you thought of doing bourbon video? You know your stuff. Well, everything that I know about bourbon, I've learned from friends of mine and from the forums and the groups that I'm a part of. I don't claim to know hardly anything about bourbon. I do know a little bit, but there's a lot more to learn. It's a very, very complex hobby and a very, very detailed process that I do not know all the ins and outs on. So I don't think I would do a bourbon video because, people who don't know about bourbon, it might help. But the guys who really do know their bourbon, I would probably sound like a fool to them. So I tell you what I know, but there's a lot more to learn. So Joe says he's selling 200 plus cords of wood for $75,000, but my expenses are $55,000, and Biden wants $5,000 in federal taxes. So yeah, Joe has guys that go out and cut wood for him, and he pays them to bring the rounds, and then he splits it, seasons it, and sells it. The Cool Kids question: Does dead standing ash tree need to season after it's split? People say ash is ready to burn, but my moisture meter says otherwise. So I'll let Chaz add on to this when I'm finished, but what I've learned so far is that a dead standing ash tree normally has a lot lower moisture content than a lot of other species of wood, and it dries pretty quickly.
Creosote the chimney.
It doesn't creosote the chimney, he says, and it still leaves a good hot coal. Chaz has told me before when I've picked up dead standing ash from his jobs that you can split that and sell it right away. I don't just go by the moisture meter. I'm not sold on exactly how accurate they are. I think it's a good tool to use in the process.
Put off good heat, ask them.
Yeah, it's a good tool to use, if you look at the big picture. You got to look at the color of the wood, the checking or the cracking on the end grains of the wood, what the bark's doing. Is the bark falling off of it? The moisture meter does come into play, and then the weight of the wood. When you pick the wood up, does it feel heavy? Does it feel light? And I kind of use all that to gauge.
Does he have a good flame, a good heat, and does he have a hard time getting it going?
Yeah, so that's another way you can check it. I mean, I do burn some of my wood sometimes just to check. If I'm not quite sure, I'll burn some of my own wood and see if it lights, how easily it lights, and once it gets going, how does it burn? If it's got a lot of moisture in it, you're going to see it boiling on the end of the wood, sizzling on the end of the wood. It'll be really smoky. You won't have a good clean burn. So that's another way you can check. But yes, to answer your question in a short way, ash is one of the lower moisture content woods.
We got plenty of it.
And there's plenty of it around here. The ash boring beetle has tore through Pennsylvania, and now it's tearing through Maryland. There's still a lot of ash around here, but I don't know how many years that's going to last.
I look at them every day.
Yeah. William Klein says people who buy green wood wants it half price.
Don't sell it.
Well, so here's the thing about that. You're not paying for the wood when you buy firewood. You're paying for the labor and the work and the effort that it takes to make it firewood. And that's part of the reason why I personally choose not to deal with pine or a whole lot of poplar, is because it's a less desirable wood. It takes the exact same amount of work to process no matter what species of wood it is. You still got to cut it. You still got to split it. And for the way I do it, I still got to stack it. So, I don't deal with pine or a whole lot of poplar because, all of my wood I sell for the same price. I don't separate. I do separate my wood by species when I stack it, but I don't change the price of the wood based on what species it is, because I'm doing the same amount of work and it takes the same amount of time. Here comes my right-hand lady, Taylor. How was practice?
Good.
Good? Did Brady do well?
Yeah, it was cold.
Cold. I just got done telling him how the temperature's been crazy around here. Where are we at? I need you to keep up with this chat because I'm trying to talk and look at the camera. Todd's outside again. Mr. Todd Lacey, how are you, sir? He said he's just getting home from soccer and joining in. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream, Todd. Glad you could make it here. Eric says, certainly can tell it's 104 proof. Smooth for that heavy. Initial take is I like the Four Roses single barrel better for an evening drinker. I think I might agree with you, Eric. I don't dislike it, but I think the 104 is just a little heavy for me. Firewood Doctor has an answer for the ash tree question. Dead standing ash is usually ready to burn off the stump. Live green ash is almost ready to burn. It's that dry when it's alive. So there you go. There's some more feedback on that question. Gibson's Rare from Cloud Lake Moon. Rye whiskey for me tonight. Sort of watching NFL Draft Cardinals along with this live event. I have not heard of Gibson's Rare rye whiskey. Have not heard of that, but let me know how you like it. I don't even think I've seen that around here. So, old guy Firewood, Dick, he says the bark off makes a big difference in all species. Yes, sir, I agree. So Joe's talking about gas prices again. If you follow me on Facebook, you know that I just kind of had a little rant on that on Facebook yesterday. Fuel prices here have jumped twice in the last 3 days. Diesel fuel went from $4.99 to $5.15 overnight, and then they went from $5.15 to $5.39 the next night. So, not very happy with that. Here's another super chat. RG Productions 1, thank you, sir. I appreciate that super chat. Cheers to you. They are replanting ash in logged areas. That's from Michelle, SS Firewood. So I don't know if they've got the ash boring beetle or not, but I don't know if I don't even know if you can get rid of that. Once it's here, right?
Nah, once all the ash trees are gone, they're all gone. But you have to wait for everything to eliminate itself before you start over.
Yeah. TB, hey Brad, my Easter maid came last Thursday. Your sticker will be the first one on it. That's awesome. Congratulations on your new log splitter. Easter maid makes a great product, and I've never ran one, but I watch all the channels that have them, and they seem like they're a great machine. So congratulations to you on that. Firewood Doctor has a question. He says, if you split directly into the trailer, do you give a discount for less handling of the wood?
Heck no.
He says, heck no. I have never done that. I have never split directly into the trailer because I always stack my wood and make sure it's good and dry and seasoned before I sell it. Maybe I'm a little too anal about that, but I want to make sure that I have a good product to sell. And when you're splitting it, even if it's been cut and stacked in rounds, when you split it, it's still not.
I assumed it was ash.
Still not the same. All right. Camping Creek wants to know if you're doing softball, Taylor.
Yeah, I play travel softball.
She's on the travel team. She's 14 years old. She's playing on a 16U team this year. She's a first baseman, and she's finally starting to really come around and things are clicking for her in the game. So I'm hoping this season works out really good for her. She's got great coaches, and it's a great program that she's in. So once her season gets started and gets underway, we'll be sure to give you updates on how she's doing.
Yeah.
Tim Stout said he had one guy tell him that his prices are outrageous. He asked him if he ever processed firewood before, and he turned around and left. Yeah, I mean, it's work. It is.
What is his prices?
I don't know where he is. Let us know where you are and what your prices are if you don't mind. And prices vary so much around the country. You'd be surprised at how much money and how little money people get depending on where they are.
It depends on how bad they want it.
Yeah. Hey, there's Joe's Firewood videos. Super chat, Taylor. He has a request for Taylor. He always has Taylor make statements during the live stream, but he's always not impolite with her. So go ahead, Taylor.
Easy pass makes Biden look competent.
Yeah, easy pass makes Biden look competent. That's saying a whole lot. The easy pass system they're trying to get under control, but it's still a mess. Iron and Oak Sawmill, how are you tonight, Chuck? My concern is what will the ash board go once all the ash are gone? I don't know if they'll attack other trees or not. So one problem that we have around here, and it really hit us last year, if you watched any of my videos from last summer, you see these lantern flies. We're having a problem with a lantern fly. They came from China, right, where everything comes from.
First it was cicadas.
Yeah, first we had cicadas, and now the lantern flies are everywhere, and they're just covering up everything, and they attack fruit trees. So what they do is they actually attach themselves to the side of the tree, and they eat and excrete, and it all falls to the base of the tree, and it rots the tree from the bottom. And these orchards and vineyards are having a really hard time with it, trying to figure out what to do, because that's the type of trees that they're going after. So that's the next problem that we're going to have, as if the ash borer wasn't enough. Old Guy Firewood, I will sell partially seasoned wood, but I make sure the customer understands what they are buying. Lots of people are okay with it, and they come back, so it must be okay. Yeah, if you're honest with your customer and they know what they're getting and they're happy, then there's no questions, there's no surprises.
There's some questions.
All right, yeah, I'm behind here. Yes, Emerald Ash Borer. Thank you, Chuck. I couldn't remember what the E stood for. Tim Stout has a question. Brad, I came across one of your earlier videos, and it wasn't till close to the end when I saw firewood at the furnace that I realized it was you. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Water. People are saying that. That's a good question.
My daughter will be This is Firewood Doctor. My daughter will be 14 in just over 6 hours. Well, happy birthday to your daughter. Got any tips on scaring off the boys and putting the fear of God into them? I'm not a former police officer nor military. I would appreciate the expertise. So I tell people this all the time. What you need to do is you need to make people think that you're just a little bit crazy. And maybe I am a little bit crazy, but there has to be that, they know I'm a good guy. They know I'm an involved father and what my career was. But, maybe you need to go out in the backyard and shoot a groundhog with a shotgun once in a while or something.
Or act like you're shooting at a groundhog.
Yeah, or act like you're shooting at a groundhog.
That's crazy.
But, I mean, I don't know if being a retired police officer is going to help me with that battle or not, because we're just getting started with that. She's so involved in sports and with her schooling that I don't think she's really fell down that rabbit hole yet with boys. Have you?
Nope.
All right. Nope, she hasn't. So when that time comes, I'll let you know what I decide to do. But maybe I can invite him over and show him my gun collection. All right. All right, so Tim Stout is in northeastern Pennsylvania, 120 per third of a cord. So that's a little higher than here, but that's not too far off.
If you can get it. You're good.
Yep.
I mean, is it bundles or?
No, just for a third of a cord. So it's, I guess he's getting $360 a cord.
And that's delivered, stacked?
He didn't say. No, I'm sure that's not stacked. Stacked is always extra. Chuck says the spotted lanternfly came from China into a place about 5 minutes from my house. Yeah, so you know all about them too. They were really here pretty thick last year. I'm hoping it's not getting worse.
It's been about 10 years.
Hey, there's Woodruff Woods saying he needs to raise prices. I raised mine this year. And speaking of Woodruff Woods, I just got a letter from him today in the mail. And he says, Brad, I'm sending you a sticker for one of your machines. Keep the good contact coming, and I hope we can meet soon. I hope so too. I want to meet a lot of you guys. But here's his new sticker that I got, Woodruff Woods. So that'll be going on the splitter. He was kind enough to actually send me 2 of them, so we'll find a place for the other one as well. So thank you, Darren. I appreciate you sending that to me. Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Joe again. My buddy Joe. He's got another request for Taylor.
Okay. Michigan has been and always will be better than Ohio State. Go Blue. High time, man.
Is time in here? Cheers, Joe. Thank you, sir. Nick Andrews says if someone comes to the door to take her on a date, answer the door with a chainsaw running. You know, I didn't even think about that aspect of it.
Take
Chainsaws.
the blade off and just start running.
Yeah, chainsaws would be pretty intimidating as well.
Well, you got a couple years yet.
I think he's going to have to come meet me before he takes my daughter out anywhere. We're going to have to spend some time together. Not for me to intimidate him or be mean or anything, but he's definitely going to. I'm going to have to get to know him, and he's going to have to get to know me before he takes my little girl anywhere. All right, so some people are commenting on what they're charging for firewood. Darren's charging $100 per face cord. I think that's what I'm going to be at this year. Camping Creek says it's $70 per cord here. Are you talking about face cords? Because $70 for a full cord is really, really on the low end. William Klein says $125 a face cord picked up. Larry Cluck, I see you're leaving. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. Glad you could make it. I hope you have a good night. Old Guy Firewood's going to have stickers on May 6th. He'll be looking to trade and share. Make sure you get a hold of me there, Dick. I will certainly send you some stickers as well. I'd be happy to get yours on my machine. He's got a great channel. I'm sure most of you have already checked him out. He just did a video the other day on the different ways to mark your logs so you can get uniform length rounds. And he goes through every different method there is. I had tried every one of those methods, and if you watch his video, he'll give you his opinions and what he thinks is his favorite. And his opinion is the same as mine, so check those videos out. Chuck said the spotted lanternfly is in the area heavy for about 2 years, then it goes away as it expands further out. Well, good. Hopefully, if it's here this year, this will be it. Camping Creek says it's $70 for a third of a cord. All right, that makes sense. That's still a little low, I think, but I don't know what the market is around your area. But I think you could probably get more, especially once people know you have a good product. Woodruff Woods, Super Chat, you're welcome. Drink up for the bomb. Thank you, Darren. I appreciate that. Woo. That is a long finish. I don't know if you can tell compared to how I normally sip, but
Sent that 500 to the shop yesterday.
oh, you want to talk about that?
You can talk.
You
about
brought it up. I didn't think you wanted to talk about that.
You can talk about it.
So he just said that he sent that 500i to the shop yesterday. So I didn't know if he wanted to tell this story because I had brought this up to him a little while ago, and he's like, I don't know. So I was on a job with him. What's it been, a month ago?
6 weeks or so.
6 weeks ago. I was on a job with Chaz here, and he was working in a place behind some townhouses for it was a homeowners association that was having cherry trees taken down. It was actually the video, if you watch the video where I got that log with the big cherry log with the poison ivy all over it, that I ended up getting rid of that piece. It was that job. And his guys were up in he had this portable trailer bucket lift on tracks because he couldn't get his bucket truck behind these townhouses where he was working. So he ended up having to use a different type of lift, and it wouldn't reach out over into the tree from the side. So he ended up basically having to work right under the tree. So his guy had the 500i up in this bucket, and he's cutting small sections at a time, and they're falling. And this tree is covered with these poison ivy vines, these big, thick vines. And I'm watching him, and he's cutting with this 500i, and he goes to cut, and he's reaching out over the side of the bucket, and that saw hits that vine. And when it hits the vine, it binds up and catches. And when it catches, it rips the saw right out of his hand. And he's trying to catch it as the log's falling down. So I see the log falling, and I see the 500i tumbling through the sky from about 80, 100 feet up in the air. And the 500i hit the ground, and pieces flew. And I felt like I was going to get sick. I mean, that's a dream saw. I would love to have a 500i, but that's probably not going to happen. And he's got several 500i's, and it's laying on the ground. And he wasn't on the job site, but all his guys that I know really well now were there. And we're all looking at each other and thinking, who's going to call Chaz? So nobody did anything, and eventually we had to let him know. But the saw is in the shop now. It is repairable.
It took me a month to look at it.
It took him up.
They put it in the shop, and I wouldn't go look at it. So yesterday morning, I said, put that saw in the back of the truck, taking it to the shop. So I did it there, and he says, what do you want to put into it? I said, well, $1,500 saw. I don't know. You tell me. He says, I can fix it for $650. I said, fix it.
So $650 he's fixing the 500i that fell probably 100 foot. So I didn't know we were going to tell that story, but now you know.
It's
Liquid encouragement. I didn't realize you had a pour. What do you think of that?
It's pretty shitty.
He said it's pretty cool. All right, so Firewood Doctor has another question. Since my wood yard is next to my ex's house, I can arrange to be at the wood yard running saws and stuff when the young man comes around, if he makes it that far. There you go. That's another good way. Chuck said his wife Deb is selling bundles for $10. Yep, I think that you can get that all day. Nick Andrews says it's about $320 for a full cord here in Maine. Seasoned, $250 unseasoned. Taylor's asking me, if you're seeing her writing me notes, she's asking me if I want to do the giveaway now. So if it's your first time here on the live stream, every month, no matter what, we give away a whiskey glass, just like the one I'm drinking out of right now, a Firewood at the Furnace engraved whiskey glass. And we will do that at some point tonight. We'll ask a question, and whoever comments with the correct answer first will win the whiskey glass. So hope you all can stick around for that. Western New York, $85 per face cord. There's Tony, TC's Outdoors. How are you doing, sir? So if you didn't catch TC's Outdoors video, I don't know if it came out today or yesterday, but we got to meet his family, Tracy, Austin, and Natalie. Tracy's his wife, Austin's his son, and Natalie is his daughter. They were with him in the yard helping him stack some wood. I think they stacked a little over a cord, close to 4 face cord. So if you don't watch his channel, that's another good family channel. You can tune into that and meet his wife and children. Outdoors in the 608. Oh, goodness, where did that go? I lost it, Tay. I'm way behind. Here we go. 110 per face cord delivered within 15 miles. I think that's right on par for where we are around here. Todd Lacey says $70 to $100 per face cord in Illinois picked up. So that's pretty consistent. Chuck has a new sticker in the making. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing that, Chuck. Hey, now that Shibe's done school, I see Shibe there. He's on average of 430 cord out of the stand because he's selling, in small either bundles or small stacks. That's definitely the way to sell it. I mean, people that are burning a lot of firewood for heat and ambiance through the winter are going to buy it in bulk. But if you can sell your wood by the bundle or in small stacks, that's definitely the best way to make your money. So he's getting about 430 cord selling it that way. Like I was saying, Chuck, now that Shibe's done school, and if you didn't know, Shibe graduated on the commandant's list, and he has now done his schooling. So congratulations to him. We have got to set up a date for us all to get together. I think Darren wants to join us up at Chuck and Deb's place, so we should try to figure that out. Firewood Doctor said he raised his prices this year because of fuel and everything else. That's why I did mine too. The log splitter I won has gone up $1,400 from a year ago. Everything has gone up. And like I said, I haven't received any negative feedback or any resistance when I tell people that the prices have changed. Mom and the boys, how are you? 115 per face cord for them. There's Cash, 5150. How are you, my friend? I'm glad you're here. Good to see you tonight. Crystal Doolin, do you have any no bark wood for bundles, and do you sell it for a higher price? Just about all the wood that I sell in my bundles is either barkless or the bark is falling off of it. If the wood is not falling off of it or separating from the wood, I don't feel like it's quite ready yet. So like all the bundles that I'm selling right now are mostly maple with a little bit of ash mixed in, and all the maple that I have right now that I'm bundling is all barkless. Nova Scotia garage grower. One thing I see we all have in common. We are all really underpaid for the work it takes to produce a quality product. Okay, I will agree with you on that, but I will also say that everybody who is doing this firewood thing, including you, I'm sure, have a passion for it. We're getting something out of it, and you know my backstory on why I started doing this. Gives me some decompression time, mental therapy, if you will. Kind of separates me from everything else going on in life. If you don't do it, you don't understand it. Running a saw, running a splitter, stacking wood. There's just something about it that I enjoy. What's that?
It goes off of something I've always said. If all the firewood people or all the tree people could get together and set their prices, we control the industry. The customer doesn't control the industry. Where, this guy's this much and this guy's this cheap. Well, that's where it comes in. You don't get paid for what. But if everybody set their price on what you think it's worth, there's too many customers out there that don't have a wood splitter, don't know how to use a chainsaw, and don't want to get their palms dirty.
Yeah, and I think a lot of those people that are selling a lesser quality product or just, splitting wood and putting it out for sale immediately, not seasoned, I think, they don't last long. They're not around a whole long time. You might see them for a year or two, but then they're gone, and then the next guy's there for a year or two. But the ones that are going to stick around, for 5, 10, 20 years, they're the ones that are taking pride in their product. And, and once a customer finds that person that's selling them a good product, they're not going to go anywhere, even if the price is a little higher. That's my opinion anyway.
But you got to control the industry.
There's friggin' Jeep. John, how are you? Hi there. Are you planning on going to the Paul Bunyan show? Yes, I am. If I can make it and their kids' ball schedules, if I can work around that. That's in Ohio, not too far for me to go. So I am planning on doing that this year. I cannot make it to the Firewood Frenzy, unfortunately. I really was trying to do that, but it's just not in the cards for me this year. So I'm gonna miss seeing everybody and meeting everybody up there. But I hope you all have a good time and the weather holds out. But as far as the Paul Bunyan show goes, I am fingers crossed, really trying to make that show. Firewood Doctor wants to know if the death of the 500i was caught on video. No, it was not. I wish I would have been recording during that time because I was filming that day. But I had actually walked around the buildings to come in on the other side. I think I actually had to move the trailer to pick up some of the logs from the other side, and I missed it. But he asked me the same thing when he found out about it. He said, "Did you get it on video? I want to see what happened." And unfortunately, I did not. All right.
When you buy them, you don't want to see them get broke, but it's a chance you take every day when you.
Yeah, I mean he's using them every day, and he works hard. He's got a lot of work. Today he did 2 or 3 jobs.
Cash 5150 said he sent a super chat, but it didn't go through. So, hopefully you get it because he got the confirmation.
All right. Well, I didn't see it, Cash, but I appreciate the super chat. Hopefully it comes through. If not, I'm glad you're here anyway, my friend. Cheers. Joe said, I just charged the new customers, local, 15 miles away, country club, $225 for a face cord of mostly cherry, delivered and stacked for their new pizza oven. I saw that video, Joe. Yeah, you get good money for your firewood sales. I don't know. I know that you live on the lake, and I know you have some pretty high income neighborhoods around you. So I don't know if that is why you get more money or if that's just what the demographics and what the market is around where you are. But you definitely get more wood than most, or more money for your wood than most of us.
Well, special wood or cherry, I mean, that's a premium delivery.
Yeah, cherry is good wood. Tim Stout. Joe, it's a renewable resources, just not part of the new Green Deal. Cash wants to know if the super chat showed up on your end, Taylor.
Oh, I already responded to him.
Oh, I'm that far behind?
And then he got another email saying it was canceled.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Shive has a question. What do you think of the new thank you button you can put on all of your videos?
Did you see that yet?
I have not seen that yet.
You probably have to update your YouTube app.
I don't know. Tell me about that, Shive. I don't know what that is or what that's for. I think I did see that. I was watching some of the Johnny Depp trial today, some clips, and I saw on the channel that I was watching a thank you button, but I didn't know what it was. It was a really big channel with a whole lot of subscribers, so I figured it was something that they have that I just don't have access to. So I have to look into that. If you can type something in there and let me know what that is, that would be pretty cool. There's Ontario Firewood Resource. How you doing, Anthony? Good to see you tonight. How are things up in Canada? I hope you're doing well. Oh, he said people can super chat your videos now. No kidding. Wow. Well, I don't know if that'll be happening, but that's pretty neat. They're adding stuff all the time. Bill Irwin says, I must be bored to watch that circus. Well, I really don't watch the news or keep up with what's going on at all, but it kept coming through like social media, and it kept coming through as a suggested video on my YouTube, and I was like, what is going on with Johnny Depp? You know, the only thing I really know about Johnny Depp is that he was Pirates of the Caribbean, right? Captain Jack Sparrow. That's what I know about him. And when I took the kids to Disney World a few years back, that was one of our favorite rides at Disney World, was the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Cash says, Joe, they have put a ban in the Sacramento district but up here in the hills of the Sierras, they can't, nor will they won't.
Joe said he's surprised they haven't banned firewood in California yet.
Oh, I saw that wood guy month or two ago. He was posting that New York is, I guess there's some activists up in New York trying to get rid of people burning firewood. It's crazy. I mean, everything is just off the hook lately. That'll never happen. I'm not even concerned about that. Anthony says he's good. The economy is slow. The wood yard is open. Time to fill it. Yes, it is time to fill it. We're past Easter now, coming up on spring and summer. So we're getting to the point now, whatever you have split is hopefully going to be ready for the fall. I don't want to butcher this name, but Velarde Farming. Greetings from the Philippines. How are you all doing there on the other side of the world? We are so glad to have you and welcome. You're coming to us from the Philippines. I don't know what time of day or night it is there, but glad to see you here. That's awesome. I always like to see people that come from new places and where they're from. I tried something a little while back to get people to send pictures with where they were from to feature on my Facebook page. I don't know if the word didn't get out, but I really didn't get much response to that. But I would really like to know where all my viewers are from.
Maybe get one. What do they cut their firewood with? Send a picture of what.
Yeah, what saws they
kind of
use.
they
Yep.
use.
Yep. Billy Bob's Wood says he's grabbing all the free wood he can find. Yeah, I'm telling you, the way things are right now with the prices and the fuel, they say fuel is just going to keep going up all summer long. I think it's projected that we're going to be close to $7 here by the end of summer for fuel. But I think firewood this fall is going to be a hot commodity. So cut all you can, as quick as you can, and have it ready. Freaking Jeep John, he says it will happen in New York. You really think that's going to happen? I mean, how long? What's the time frame? Because I don't see how there's a lot of people that, that burn wood for heat that, just can't afford any other way to heat their home. They go out and cut their own wood and that's all they can do to survive is to burn wood. So I don't really know how they can get rid of that. Mystery Gardener says it's 1:45 here in Wales, UK.
Wow.
That's 1:45 in the morning.
Wow.
Glad to see you, Mystery Gardener. You always stay up late and join in on these live streams, so I think it's great. I'm glad to have you. Taylor is telling me it's giveaway time. Do you have a question ready?
No, I didn't ask us to get one.
Well, we have to have a question, so I guess I'll try to come up with one. Daniel Atkins says it's 5:45 p.m. He's in Seattle. He's out on the West Coast. All right, so you can try to, well, should probably be a question related to one of the videos that I put out in the past month. So Bill Irwin just said diesel went to $5.65 in Pennsylvania today, and what is it here?
$5.39.
$5.39 I wrote down. $5.39 for diesel, and I expect it to keep going up. It's crazy. I'm thinking about actually getting a 55-gallon drum full of off-road diesel fuel for the skid loader because,
ain't no sense of paying taxes.
I don't need to pay road tax for diesel fuel for the skid loader.
I was getting my tanks filled, but the price that you got to come up, you got to come up all at once.
Is there a minimum amount of gallons you have to buy?
You got to buy 1,000 gallons.
Oh,
I think I thought of a question.
I won't be buying 1,000 gallons. Well, the midterm election's coming up, so I don't want to get into politics, but hopefully something will change here.
And then the answer.
Okay, we can do that. This is going to be an easy question for everybody, but we're going to give away a whiskey glass. And the very first comment that comes through the feed will win. And the question is,
what is a new update with the dump trailer? It was a recent video.
what's the new update with the dump trailer? Shive, that was a good question. That would have been a great question.
Give away 2 whiskeys.
Joseph Gilbert got it.
Joe Gilbert with the remote control. That's right. So there's a lot of correct guesses there, so that's awesome. And Dick knew the answer to Shive's question, too. 3 buckets of stone in the skidder shack. That's right. So Joe Gilbert, send me an email. or send me a message, and I'll get the whiskey glass to you. You'll be able to drink maybe some Fireball with John out of it. All right. Yep, everybody's saying wireless remote. And Shive actually put that on his trailer too. If you didn't see that short video, he did it to his dump trailer. He has gravity down, so it was a lot easier connection for him. But yeah, I'm glad that video helped some people out. So speaking of selling, we were talking about selling firewood bundles earlier. I wanted to mention to you, I don't think Chris is here from In the Woodyard tonight, but a few weeks ago, he put out a video with his best friend, Tony. They had bought a bundler, a manual hand crank bundler from an Amish company up there in Wisconsin, I believe, for half the price of what a lot of these other companies are selling one for. I know Brad Nelson over at Nelson Ridge Farm had the Johns Welding one. The Hudson bundler is another comparable one, but they're almost double the price, around $1,500. But this one that they featured on in the Woodyards video was like between $600 and $800. I can't remember the exact price, but I commented on that video, and Tony actually gave me a call and gave me the information for that Amish company that builds these bundlers. So I think that's probably going to be one of my next purchases because bundles are selling so well. And my wood frame bundler, although it has served me well, I don't know how long I'm going to continue using that or how long that's going to hold up. So Shive just said the price went up $100, but it's still a great price. So if you don't have that information or you didn't see that video and you want to know about it, you can either message Chris or message me, and I'll give the information to you as well. All right, so Iron Oak Sawmill, about $200 for a full cord around here. It's too cheap. That is cheap, Chuck. $200 for a full cord. I was getting $240 delivered last year, but I was on the low end because I was just trying to get a customer base started, and people actually told me that my prices were too low. Excuse me. Working man. Good evening, all. I'm selling 1/3 of a cord of mixed hardwood for $80 if they pick up on the eastern shore of Maryland. So I'm in Maryland too. I'm sure you know that there, Ron. But I was selling mine for $80 for 1/3 of a cord last year, and I sold out very, very quickly. So my price has gone up this year. I'm selling for $100 a face cord, and hopefully my customers from last year are happy with their product, and all my customers from last year are already messaging me to make sure they're on my list to buy firewood again this year. So I'm pretty confident that everybody was happy with their product last year, and I don't think it's going to be a problem selling my wood this year either, especially with the price of fuel going up. My price includes the delivery, so I'm burning fuel, pulling the dump trailer to go pick up the logs from Chaz here. I'm burning the fuel in the saw and the splitter, and then I'm burning the fuel in the truck to deliver the wood as well. So I don't think people are really going to balk or have a problem with the price increase because they already know they're going to get a good product. Daniel Atkins here in Seattle, it's $200 to $350 a full cord delivered. That's a big gap. $150 difference between the low end to the high end.
Does anybody know how much firewood is in like New York City, the city of New York, or any of these cities?
New York City. So if you're in a real populated urban area where there's not a whole lot of wooded areas or farmland or trees, and you have to buy your firewood from outside the city, I know that they get a premium for their firewood. So if anybody's in a situation like that where they're delivering firewood to those areas, what are you getting? So Dick said from Old Guy Firewood that his John's welding machine was $1,250 a year ago, and now it's $1,550. Metro Atlanta is $200 a face cord. Atlanta, Georgia, in the city. So
I was
that's
told it was $400 to $500 a cord.
$600 a cord is what they're getting in Atlanta.
Wow. Yeah.
Super chat there from Shad. Violets are purple, dandelions are yellow. How about 4 roses for the bearded fella? Well, isn't he intellectual tonight? Cheers, Shad. Thank you, my friend. We just finished that off.
Those 500 eyes a year ago were $12.99.
Yeah.
They're $15.99
Yep.
now
Yep.
within a year.
If you can find one.
Yeah.
Wow, Shad's a poet and he didn't know it. I'm pretty impressed by that there, Don. Robert says $150 for a third of a quart of birch and maple, Canadian in Toronto, $11 for a bundle of camp firewood. And old guy Firewood says that he would guess bundle wood in New York City is $20 or more. Taylor says she's getting tired. She has a test tomorrow.
Yeah.
She's writing notes to me. You're allowed to talk to these people. They all know who you are. So everybody say goodnight to Taylor. She's heading in. Did you already study for your test?
I have to finish it.
You have to finish studying?
Yeah.
All right, so she's going to head in and study for her test.
Bye.
That's her priority, so I can't argue with that. Thanks for your help, sweetie.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
Taylor.
See ya.
See ya.
All right. I am starting my firewood production in 2 months. It's good to produce here because some trees are ready to harvest in 5 years. And with the prices going up, it's a good thing to think about. Yeah, I mean, if you're just starting out, the best thing that I can tell you is to take your time, work hard, cut as much as you can, and sell a good product. Don't rush to make that dollar. The thing about firewood is that you do a lot of work up front, and you got to wait to see the return. If you sell it right away, you can make a quick dollar, but I don't think you're going to retain many customers. So be patient, let that wood get good and dry and seasoned, and your customers will be running back to you every year. Hey, there's Grant. Hey, Brad, first time getting to catch you live. Hope you're enjoying retirement, bro. Thanks, Grant. Glad to see you here, my bud. Haven't seen you in a while. I hope we can catch up soon. But thank you for the well wishes, and stay safe to you as well. Cash says that's going to be a Hallmark card now. I'm not sure which one's going to be a Hallmark card. I missed that. I must have missed something. In Pierce and Thurston County, they're getting about $5 to $7 per bundle. That's
Low.
yeah. I mean, I'm at 7 now, and I'm still kind of on the low end, so 5 is definitely cheap. Oh, the Hallmark card is Shive's rhyme. I got it. Gotcha. Yep, that can be a Hallmark card. Everybody save that quote from the super chat that Shive sent. I might have to do something with that. There's a super chat from Anthony over at Ontario Firewood Resource. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that.
Did you see that furnace I sent you?
Yeah, I did. All right, where are we at? Everybody's telling Taylor good night. She's already gone. It's an 18-month wait for a 500i here, and it's $2,800 with a light bar.
Jeez.
Yep.
Here you just got to stumble across it.
Yep, you got to stumble across it. Hey, Chuck, Iron and Oak Sawmill with a super chat. For the East Coast Firewood Frenzy, let's find a venue. Yes, sir, and that's going to be one of the topics of conversation when we all come to visit you at the sawmill. I hope you still have some walnut there. He's been getting a lot of nice big walnut logs up there that he's milling, and I would love to see him pour the water over that when he's milling those logs. But when we get up there to see you, Chuck, we're definitely going to try to work on that. East Coast Firewood Frenzy, I think, would be successful here because there's a lot of guys on this side of the country. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. Working Man says, I'm not sure if you heard this before, but a contractor I know wired his trailer on remote. One day at a traffic light, his trailer started lifting on his own, and he couldn't stop it, dumping some of his load. Man, I don't know. I guess something with the same frequency must have been, or something with the same frequency. I guess you would have to jump out of your truck and start ripping wires. I don't know, but that would be scary. I never gave that a thought.
Doesn't happen too often, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a freak thing or something that could happen, but TC Outdoors, Tony, super chat. I'm with Chuck on this one. Yep, Hallmark card. All right, Bill, how are you, sir? I have two 194s in 500i sitting at a dealer, just haven't picked up yet. Bill Chadwick, Illinois.
How much is the 500?
Yeah, how much are you paying for your 500i in Illinois there, Bill? That's pretty neat that you were able to find two of them. Did you have to get put on a waiting list, or did you just stumble across them? Because I know a lot of the dealers around here have waiting lists. Yeah, Anthony says Easton Made splitters are up 15%. Chuck says he's still got walnut and he's saving some for us. Awesome. Mom and the Boys says they sell bundles for $7. Free delivery with a purchase of 5 bundles or more. I do that too, but my minimum is 10 bundles.
And how close?
Within 10 miles. Buck and Firewood's here saying hello, everybody. Glad you could make it. Welcome to the live stream. We're sipping on some Four Roses. That's pretty high octane tonight. I'm taking very small sips. I'm still only on my second pour. Bill has a question. Says, good to see Chaz. Is he busy with the tree service? Yes, he is. How far out are you booking right now?
2 crews, 45 days.
He's got 2 crews and he's 45 days out. So he's very busy. He's got more wood than I can handle. So he gives me a break once in a while, and he knows what I like. So when the premium stuff comes up, he calls me.
You've had a break here lately.
I have had a little break here lately, but I'm supposed to be getting some next week, right? Some oak. He's got some oak coming for me next week. Todd Lacey says the next time he sees a dump trailer, he's going to start pushing his garage door opener. That would be horrible. But I think now that we've said that, you might be tempted to try it anyway, even if it is horrible. Cash says $13.99 for the 500i here, Northern California.
Want to sell it?
$13.99. You'd be about the same price by the time you shipped it here from California.
Let's have another 500i.
Yeah. Where'd we go?
We ought to buy a steel chainsaw and do a giveaway raffle.
Do what?
Do a giveaway like a raffle on here.
What, for a chainsaw?
People put chances in.
We could do that. We could definitely do that. They have plenty of 661s and 881s, but he can't afford those prices.
I like the 462s.
Chaz likes the 462s. I think the 462 is probably the most comparable saw to the 500i.
Yeah.
From what I've heard and
weight, balance, running.
Yeah, the power of it. Yeah. Yep. $3,000 to ship an Easton Made access to Washington State, and that's coming from Wisconsin. No, Canada. Easton Made's in Canada, I think. Wolf Ridge is in Wisconsin. What is the most annoying tree the tree service has ever had to cut?
Mulberry.
Mulberry. Why?
Because they're just abnormal. It's all dead. Like, all the limbs are dead. Like, nothing's organized. It's all clustered.
It just grows wild.
Yeah.
So mulberry he doesn't like to cut.
And sycamore, I don't like sycamore in the warmer months. All the pollen they carry. And,
Sycamore cuts hard too, right?
yeah, it's heavy, but when it dries out, it's like paper.
Oh, really?
But they make you sneeze, they make your eyes water, they cough, because of all the pollen balls on them.
Yeah, so speaking of pollen, I've been fighting some sinuses here lately. And I don't know if anybody's noticed, my tongue is a little swollen tonight, and I'm hoping the bourbon has numbed it enough to where my speech isn't noticeably different, but I can't even believe I'm going to tell them this, but last night, for the first time, I think since I was a child, I fell out of bed. I was having a dream that I was at a Keith Urban concert, and I don't even like Keith Urban.
Did you drink?
No, I was not drinking the night before, but I fell out of bed. I hit my head on the nightstand and bit my tongue.
Bitch, man. You're right.
My wife woke up laughing at me.
Let's have a drink.
My wife woke up laughing at me. So I've got this big cut on my tongue on the right side, and I've been slurring my speech all day. Wow. So I don't know how that came up, but now everybody
I
knows.
think last time I fell out of bed, I was a little kid.
I know, me too. I don't know what was going on.
We're going to put railings on.
Yeah, that's what my wife said. She's going to put the kiddie railing on the side of the bed. Pamela wants to know if I have enough of the bourbon glasses to sell. Yes, I do. They are on. You can either send me a message to an email to firewood@thefurnace@gmail.com, and I can arrange to get one to you, or there's a link in the description of all my YouTube videos, and they are on my Facebook page for sale. So I actually just got another dozen of them made and picked up this past week, along with another dozen of these hats. Chaz is sporting a new one tonight. So yes, the whiskey glasses are for sale. Frickin' Jeep says, I'm getting a space at the Paul Bunyan show for a meet and greet spot. That would be great. I think Dan over at Back 40 Firewood and Shibe are actually thinking about doing something like that too. Maybe Joe at Ohio Woodburner. They were talking about getting a basically like a YouTube channel booth where everybody could kind of converge and meet each other. So that's cool. Frickin' Jeep, look for John there at the Paul Bunyan show. Outdoors in the 608 wants to know, how are you advertising your bundles? Facebook is the only place, and only on my Firewood at the Furnace Facebook page and my personal Facebook page. I share my YouTube videos, but I haven't done anything on Marketplace. I haven't done anything on Craigslist. I haven't got into any local stores, and I haven't put up any signs or anything. It's all basically word of mouth and my personal Facebook pages. So if I get this bundler and I can produce them more quickly and more efficiently, I may actually try to push that a little harder and probably be able to sell more bundles easily. Buck and Firewood says that the 500i where he is $1,800.
Where's he at?
I'm not sure. I can't remember where he is. Yep, GP Outdoors is getting a 462. He was thinking about a 500i, and he's getting a 462. He's up in Canada.
There seems to be
too.
plenty of 462s out there. I've seen 3 of them on the shelf yesterday.
462 is a ripper, Anthony says. How about locust with all the thorns? What do you think about locust?
They don't usually have enough treetop in them to matter. Locusts, they're mostly wood.
Yeah.
You know, there's not.
Well, I guess the honey locust has a lot more thorns than the black
honey
locust.
locusts, yeah. But we don't get a lot of
No,
them
we have
around
mostly
here.
black locust around here.
About 3 years ago, I took down a cluster of Osage orange. It was an ignorant, but that's the only ones really I've ever done.
They say that Osage orange burns so hot, like if you put it in a wood stove, it'll glow.
Talk about thorns.
Oh,
They're 3 inches long.
Osage orange has big thorns. Shibe says swamp willow is the worst smelling wood in the world.
Smells like piss.
I think you said that last time you were here. And Cash says eucalyptus is some of the worst wood to cut over here because it dulls your chainsaw up bad. Sycamore's a dirty tree, makes a mess in the yard, even when live. So sycamore, if you watched the history of the Principio furnace, where the channel got its name from, when my Aunt Sarah gave us a kind of tour and a history lesson on the old iron forge. They planted a bunch of sycamore trees there, and the reason they did that is because they say the sycamore trees will absorb a lot of that soot and smoke that the forge created. They're just a dirty tree. I think that's kind of where Dick's going with that. There's a lot of sycamore around the furnace. Chuck says that sycamore pollen makes him choke. He has to wear a mask when he drops them certain times of the year.
I don't cut them unless it's winter.
So he only cuts sycamore in wintertime.
I turn them down.
Turns them down. Working Man says you can install an emergency shutoff on the trailer to kill the battery, or a set of wire cutters to prevent an accidental dumping. Yeah, you definitely have to get rid of the power quickly. Todd Lacey said he's feeling bed a few times with some beer glasses, but I was not drinking. That was definitely strange. Of course, sometimes the dog will jump up in the bed and wants to lay right up against me, and I got to keep moving away from him.
Did you wake up right away?
Yeah.
Did you wake up on your way down, or did you wake
No,
up?
after I hit my head. Yeah, I didn't know where I was or what happened, but my back of my head hit the nightstand, which made me bite my tongue.
Sorry. And your wife was laughing at you?
Yeah, she asked me if I was okay, and then she started laughing. Bill Irwin said, "Just don't tell anyone you wet the bed. That's a story to keep to yourself." That hasn't happened. Hopefully, that's many, many years away before that starts again.
Again.
Well, I'm sure you wet the bed when you were a kid.
Yep.
You forgot to start the timer in the back, Brad. No, the timer is just for a countdown before we start, when I'm playing the music in the beginning, waiting for everybody to join in before we start. So it counted down to 0, and we got started here. Ontario is well represented tonight. Yes, sir. Canada is making a strong showing here on the live stream. Sycamores have leaves the size of dinner plates. Big leaves. I just know sycamore because the bark is like camouflage. John says, maybe I should have been drinking. Well, maybe I should have. I don't know. Maybe I would have slept and not moved around as much. But we're a little bit into overtime here, and we gave away the whiskey glass, and I want to thank everybody for joining us. I think we're going to wrap it up for another edition of Thirsty Thursdays. I can't believe April's over already. Almost into May. Hopefully the weather here starts shaping up a little bit, and we can have some good weather. Johnny wants to know, how you doing, Johnny? I didn't know you were here, but I see you there now, so I hope you're doing well. Our spring has not really been drier than normal. We've had a good bit of, I'd say, a decent amount of rain.
Up until the last week and a half.
Yeah. Great live stream. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate that. Yeah, if everybody could hit the like button, that would be great. And Billy Bob's Wood, thank you, sir. But have a great week, everybody. Don't forget that this next Wednesday is our normal video, and then the first Friday's video will be 2 days after that. So you'll get 2 videos this coming week. If it's your first time here and it's your first time on your live stream, I hope you had a good time. And for everybody that came back, thank you for coming back. It makes all this worthwhile for me. So have a great night, everybody. The Four Roses, it's okay. It's okay. So I don't know if Dan is still here or not, but I do offer Dan a little bit of sympathy because he had a hard time drinking that, and it's got a long finish. So cheers, everybody. Have a great night, and we'll see you on Wednesday.